Alright, so we're going to show you how to make some bone broth today. It's one of the most beneficial things you can make for your dog that is beneficial to their joints. It's super simple. You can buy it pre-made, but you can also make it yourself for probably a lot cheaper. So to start off, the main ingredients would be bones, obviously. You can make it with beef bones, turkey bones, rabbit bones, whatever bones you have to make it with. You can buy a full chicken, eat the chicken within your family, feed it to your dog, save the whole carcass after. You can also buy beef marrow bones like these guys. This is what we're using. Bones are really potent in some of the main supplements that people know about and buy for their dogs for their joints. So glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, collagen. These all help regenerate and rebuild the bone structure, especially around the joints. They are just naturally in it, and that's why it's going to help the bones and the joints. So we're using beef marrow bones. The next thing you would need if you want would be vegetables. We like to take all the scraps from our vegetables, throw them in a plastic bag, and put them in the freezer, and then when the time comes, just take them out. These ones have thawed for a little bit. It's a lot of greens, and I think they're actually a lot of beet tops. So you use that. You can use any other vegetable you want. Just don't use onions. That's one that can be really toxic to dogs. It all depends on how much they get, but it's just safe to say don't do that. I think this is a really nice way. They still get a lot of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and then you're not really wasting food, so it's a way to save money as well. And then the other aspect is that you can add herbs if you want. The herbs I like to use are mushrooms. The main ones that are best to use within a bone broth when you're making it is mushrooms, roots, seeds, pretty much that. Mushrooms, roots, and seeds. Any of the leaves and the flowers can be added after, but more you'd put it in after, and it would make an infusion of them, so it doesn't need to be in there for that long. It doesn't need to simmer for hours to days, which mushrooms, seeds, and roots would need that to happen. So we're using a chunk of wild harvested chaga, and then we have mushroom powder. With the mushrooms, you can use fresh, dried, powdered, whole, whatever you got. It's not that specific. So mushrooms can obviously help with immunity and so many things. I have a lot of blog posts that go into the benefits of it, but it's a great one to put in here, and it makes it really easy for your dog to be able to eat it, because pretty much any dog is going to love bone broth. The other important thing though is apple cider vinegar. If you add apple cider vinegar to it, it's going to help extract all the nutrients from the bones. Bones clearly are very hard, so the vinegar helps pull out, like I said, the glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, the collagen, all the vitamins, the minerals. These ones have marrow, which probably will just melt out of it. But putting in about 3 tablespoons into a crock pot this big will make it so all those nutrients are really pulled out. Yeah, some other herbs you could use would be milk thistle, dandelion, so it's milk thistle seed, dandelion root, burdock root, paw diaco, whatever else you're trying to work with within your dog, whatever you're trying to help them with, you can add those to the bone broth. It's just depending what time do you do it, when you're trying to get all the nutrients out of the bones, or do you do it after and then you just let it sit in it for 30 minutes and then strain it out. So that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Let's make some. It's pretty much, you take the bones. They can be frozen. They don't have to be. You can let them thaw. You can put them in frozen. Either way. I'm using 3 marrow bones. And so those are in there. And then I take all the vegetables and pour those in there, or scoop them in to not make an absolute mess. Seems like we got some greens, some beet tops. This is from our breakfast this morning. A pepper top, cauliflower. Even though we don't want to eat this, there's still nutrients in there, and you can put it in bone broth that you're making for yourself or your dog. You're still going to be able to get a lot of benefits from it. And in reality, you can eat this too. We're definitely going to share this, and that is a way to really save money in the long run, because it's not like you're making something specifically just for your dog. It's something that you can eat, they can eat. The main thing you just have to think of is just to not put the onions in it. Maybe not too much garlic if you're gonna do garlic. So then about 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I pretty much just eye it. It might have been a little more, but it'll do the job. Okay. And then last but not least is whatever herbs you want to add into it. This is the chaga. This is a blend. You can see a couple different colors, shades in there. This is a mushroom blend, so you're just gonna put it on top. If there's too much on top, it's not like you have to worry about it too much. Once it heats up, it's gonna really all condense together. And that's pretty much all you need to do. It's really simple. So once you put it all in here, we're going to let it go for about a couple hours to 2 days. It's up to you how long you want to do it for. I like to do it for 2 days personally. I like to put it on warm, just let it do its thing, low and slow, and I think that really helps get a lot of the nutrients out of it. Once you are done with it, you're gonna throw out, disregard all the ingredients in here, besides the liquid. At that point, all the nutrients are not in the plant matter anymore and not in the bones as much anymore, but it's gonna be in the water. So that's what bone broth is. At that point, you throw everything out. You're gonna put the bone broth in a Tupperware, mason jar. You can put it in the fridge, you can freeze it, you can put it in ice cube trays. I really like to just pour it over the food. If your dog does eat kibble, pouring the liquid over the kibble is gonna help soften it, which is really nice. Makes it so it's easier for them to digest the nutrients in the kibble as well, and then it's just the added benefit. It tastes good. If your dog's picky, this can be really great to add to it. It definitely helps dogs eat a little bit more if they are picky. You can make gummies out of it, so there's a lot of options you can do, but just pouring it over their food makes it a super simple way to be able to feed it to them. And then they're going to be getting everything that they would be getting from a supplement that you don't have to spend so much money on. They're going to be getting the glucosamine, the MSM, chondroitin, collagen, that they can get on a more of a daily basis in smaller amounts rather than spending a lot more and giving them supplements in a time of crisis. So this can be great for prevention. It's still amazing if they already have issues, but it's a super simple way to get these core ingredients that we need and our dogs need for their joints in a cost-effective but still really effective way. Leroy's ready for it, so we're gonna plug it in. We're gonna let it go for a while, and